modern day masculine man, take one.
Ooh, what makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight, a modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't bend, I won't break, you are not me, and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. Woo!
What up, people? Welcome to another day of Tough Talk Tuesdays. Me and my guy Trab P. We got a good subject today. You know, Miss Carla produced the show. I really like the subject. And before we start, man, I always check in with you, man. How your week been going so far? You know, we trying to marginalize our bullshit every day, but how you doing? We're keeping up with the bullshit, keeping the bullshit on the outliers.
I feel good, so good. It's the day before my birthday.
Oh, your birthday!
Wow. Feeling good all day. So, man, what a way to end it with a good conversation with a good brother and carry that thing into tomorrow.
So what you got planned, man? Are you one of these birthday niggas that say, I'll celebrate my birthday the whole month?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. Being, you know, it's always at the 4th of July. Tomorrow, man, I just wake up and go with the flow. All I know is I want to feel good. So, you know, I don't wake up with no expectations, man. If I don't do nothing but be here and people come through or just me and my family here, I can feel good and everybody smiling and happy. You know, I let it go with the flow, man. I'm just glad to be in it.
That's what I'm talking about, man. So let me ask you this. My birthday was December 1st. So I feel like that wasn't too close to Christmas, but people would be like, they'd give me a birthday gift and be like, that's your Christmas too, or give me a Christmas gift and be like, that's your birthday. So growing up, did you find, well, I know people don't give gifts on the 4th, but say, for example, if they having a 4th of July cookout, has that ever served as a double for your birthday party and the cookout?
Well, growing up, my family reunion was always the 4th of July weekend.
Me too.
So if my birthday would fall on my family reunion, of course, it was always, you know, it's Trab's birthday. So I always kind of was around family during my birthday. I can't never say I really had any parties for myself until I got older. My wife giving me parties, but just growing up, my family reunion was always going to be on my birthday or around my birthday. And
so you got right. You got right on your birthday at the family reunion, just going around as a little kid. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Yeah. Okay. So you got right, man. You know, my family reunion was always the first Saturday in July. Is that a black thing? Like, I wonder why black people, because I know a lot of people that's like that, like maybe say, shit, we ain't celebrating the 4th, but we celebrating our family. Or do you think we celebrate our family because we already off on the 4th anyway? A little bit of both.
Man, we all we got, we all we need. We in America. Everything shut down around that time. Everybody off, everybody accessible, everybody available. Like I say, we come from a matriarch generation where, man, they ain't care nothing about nothing but us. They, you know, so this is when it's time. They would say, man, you celebrate 4th of July. Man, that's because we done got too smart in our mind. Get dumb sometime and just realize whatever the reason is the season. And if it's that, hey, y'all. Hey, black folk. You know what I mean?
Well, fam, I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsors. Spiritual House Sage is good for I always say that shit wrong. I ain't even say it. Microbial bacteria, all that shit, warding off spirits, whatever it is. Spirit House Sage. I'm looking to get a sponsorship with them. I said I smoke y'all sage every podcast pretty much. So y'all to get me right. they blessing me with sage, but I want some money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't keep blessing me with sage. Spiritual
Yeah.
sage, I need some sage. Stop blessing me with sage. I mean, I need some real green. Stop blessing me with sage. So, Trab, man, today's topic, man, it's a very controversial topic. It's something I know about. It's something I experienced personally. I don't know how close I am to the topic, but I know I experienced the manifestations of the topic. So today's topic is the masculine mother wound. When you were raised by a woman that didn't like men, how growing up with a mother who resented, feared, or emotionally emasculated men, it affects your sense of manhood. So I can't say my mother didn't like me, and I think she wanted a man too bad. You know what I'm saying? And maybe she didn't have an animosity toward men, but I grew up in a house where if my mother break up with a guy, man, 3-4 weeks later, it's a new boyfriend that moved in. And as a kid, I used to always be like, why the hell a man got to move in with us? Why can't we go to his house? And as an adult, I understand there's so many different dynamics to that. A lot of times women have to have a house or a home because of kids, and men don't necessarily, opposite of you, buy a house until they ready to have kids. You bought a house early in your 20s. Most men don't buy a house until they're ready to settle down and get married. But I used to always like, why these niggas want to move into our little bit of house? Like, I always thought, what kind of sorry man is this? Even if he paid bills, why he want to move in to this woman's house? So I never stayed with a woman. And when I get my first marriage, we built the house together. Same name before we even got married. My second marriage, I left that house and moved into my wife when we was married. But I always felt like, man, I never wanted to be the type of guy that'll lay up on the couch with a woman or lay up in a woman's house. And I know I see a lot of, like I said, the manifestations of the issue, the wounded son.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, I know guys, man, I went to high school with, never had their own fucking apartment. They lived with a woman their whole life. Do you know anybody like that, man? They never had their own place, apartment. I want to talk about the manifestations of it because, like I said, personally, I don't know, but I'll talk about some of the experience I've seen that women are like this. But in my upbringing, I felt like my mama loved men and wanted a man too bad. And that kept us in kind of shambles. But what you think about cats like that, man, that never had their own fucking place?
A man is as real as his reason. Nothing gives a man more of a reason than a woman. And that woman could be his mother in the early stages. Like you say, you know the emotional attachment that comes with absent of a man.
Yeah.
She or he becomes his mama man. He becomes his mama security. So there's never that need to push him away. And that ain't good or bad. That's just what it is. So it's like cycles of how we work, man. And some people break the cycle, but for the most part, a man as real as his reason. If he ain't never had a reason to feel like he need his own, that's why he ain't never had one. And that's simple.
Wow, I love that a man as real as his reason. You say that a lot of times, man. I guess, like you said, your reason is what's going to make you act or not act. If you ain't got no reason to bust a move, why would a man bust a move? Let
me say this. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And I want to talk real life shit. The reason I bought my house at a young age because my daddy told me, son, don't you ever go somewhere and take your pants off at another woman's house. He said, if you take your pants off, you better have control of the situation. Don't never get caught with your pants down nowhere. So I just took that as like, yeah, my daddy telling me something. But I ain't never, if I had to do it as a teenager, if I did it in my car or whatever, that was what I knew. And when I didn't, I heard my daddy's voice. So he told me, he said, look, you ain't having no roommate. You need to save your money. If you're going to move out, you're going to move out for yourself. These are the standards he gave me.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. As I got older, it's simple and it's deep. He explained to me how when he was young, before he met my mama, he was in a situation where he didn't know the situation and somebody came home and he could have lost his life. So just simply wanting me to know, son, don't ever be in that situation. I ain't know it was that simple, but it created a foundation to where that was my reason. Because my daddy told me I ain't have no other choice.
I want to talk about a lot of stuff you say your daddy told you. And I know you say your dad has had his issues and y'all have had y'all issues. But, man, I always say a drunk father in the house that's smoking crack, abusing a woman is still a father, you know? And I know that sounds kind of crazy. And I talked to my brothers, and one of my brothers kind of knew my dad a little bit more. And I would always be like, man, just not knowing him. I said, you got to know him, blah, blah, blah. And he said, man, I would have rather not known this motherfucker than him to disappoint me like he disappointed me. Saying he gonna come get him, got him sitting on the step, don't see him for 3 years, coming to his life, showering with gifts, don't see him for another 4 years. So the point I'm trying to make is you having a father, and all my friends with fathers. Now, me, I was blessed to have my grandfather, but the growing up in a single mother house had already kind of got in my spirit, if you know what I mean. So my grandfather had to kind of untrain that single mother shit out of me. So most of the guys I knew that grew up with a father, man, they so chill like you. Just you saying the father, I call them ghetto proverbs, man. I want to collaborate with you on something. I don't know if we're going to call it ghetto proverbs or granddaddy proverbs. You say a lot of stuff that's like prophetic and like proverbs on this show. So just your father saying simple, don't take your pants off when you ain't got no control, right? Yeah. Now think about all the things that saved you from. He, like you said, he would a bitch and nigga come home, try to kill him or almost killed him, or getting put out, having to start over. You know what I'm saying? Being at a bitch's mercy. Look how much that saved you from just that ghetto. I don't mean ghetto, just that father proverb, something that he said to you that somebody may say to him. Are you going to say that to your son?
Well, yeah. And like you say, man, that's the real life of it. Even if you ain't have a father and you are a father, you got to start the cycle. So we want our children to be better. My daddy want me to be better than him. And there's certain things that he ain't dealt with or had got dealt with, but he doing the best he can. I really know that. That's why I can say through whatever bullshit our father and son relationship have encountered, I really think wholeheartedly he giving his all. You know what I mean? But thankful I understand more so enough to know better.
Man, when I was a younger man, like I said, my grandfather dropped these proverbs in me. And as I got older, they came back to mind. But I remember acknowledging I used to act like a bitch, man. A tough bitch. You know, it's one thing to act like a bitch. A bitch to talk shit and throw a drink in your face, but I act like a bitch and hit you. You know what I'm saying? Or want to fight you. When I say a tough bitch, I mean, you know how motherfuckers said, this is an old tough ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? When I was young, growing up in a house with single mothers, and how the lack of discipline or over discipline, sharing and certain things. When I got to school, I wouldn't want to share the blocks. If I wanted to spell my name and somebody said, well, Javon, you got 2 N's in your name. Share an N with Don so he can spell his name too. I want to fight over that shit. And I thought it was being tough and being manly, but it was really me responding like the women I grew up around. Every time I don't get what I want, or whenever there's a confrontation, ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? Or argue. Or I remember when I was a kid, I used to have what my family would call Indian attacks. If I didn't get what I wanted or somebody made me mad, I would just run in place and hold my breath and and just, I remember doing that as a child. And I remember like going crazy, like really frustrated. And at some point when I would have them out of frustration, the women in my family would laugh like it was cute. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of encouraged it. There were times where I might not be as mad and they'd be like, oh, he finna have an Indian attack. And I would do it. So I can recall, man, so many things. When I got about 28, 29, I was with one of my homeboys and we was drinking some wine one day. And I guess when I got on that, we was drinking some cheap wine, real cheap wine. And I love this brother to for the rest of my life because he's a college roommate of mine. And we was drinking some cheap wine, fucking off. We call it blood. Some little shit we used to do in college with the boys. And I got drunk and I started talking shit. And my nigga just looked at me in my face and he won't big as me. He said, man, there you go with that bitch shit. You've been doing it since college. He said, if you want my nigga, the way you talking to me on that wine, he said, I'll bust you in your motherfucking head with this iron right now as many times as I could. And in my drunkenness, you know, a drunk man will start crying. Oh, start crying like, you will hit me for real, man. He was like, yeah. And the next day we talked about it. And he explained to me, he had a father. He said, man, you don't think you acting like a bitch, but you really is. He was like, my daddy told me, man, men ain't quick to start arguing. Or men listening. I'm like, what they say? What they say? I don't even know what's going on. What they say? I'm ready. And he was like, man, you was always like that. And we just had a real conversation, man. And he was able to really make me understand, like, you think you tough or you think you responding like a man, but you responded in your emotion like a woman would. And there's no way I could not understand that or agree with that. You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this question. When you understood that, did you immediately apply that to the sons you raised?
Well, I wasn't in that situation. I was like 28 then.
But when you got there,
hell
became
yeah.
the foundation.
Hell yeah.
What you raised them men on.
And you know what? Exactly. But not only that, when he said that, everything my granddaddy said came back to me. That's why you hear me say so much. My granddaddy said these sayings, these proverbs, like your book, the simplicity, but the complexity of saying some shit like my granddaddy used to say, don't worry about the mule going blind, stand back and hold the line. And now as a grown man, once that bitch shit got out of me, it just came to me. Don't worry about nothing you can't handle. Because if you got a mule, you guiding the motherfucker anyway.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if it go blind, do your fucking job holding the line. And that's how life is. Yeah. No matter what happened, do your fucking job and shit gonna be straight. Yeah. So when all these things started to come back to me, I was like, my granddaddy knew I was raised around them women. He was dropping them pop, 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 trying to get that bitch out of me. He used to say shit like to me, like, stop all that crying. And he would say, you're old enough for your wants not to hurt you. He would say little shit that would, but he never, because I'm a child, I don't know if I think if he figured he was doing it. He ain't no psychologist, but he never said, boy, you acting like your mama, all them women you're being raised around, you up there. He never said it that plain. And he may not knew to say it that plain. I don't know. But I know for a fact he was dropping them motherfucking jewels in me to get that bitch shit out of me. And it didn't come back to me until my homeboy explained to me. And the cool thing about it is I had went home with my homeboy. God had already prophesied it. During college, I used to go home with him and I used to like chilling with his daddy because his daddy would always, you know what I'm saying, tell a story about the war and shit when he was in college, and he would always make a big ass breakfast for the boys. Yeah. So I always in my mind said, man, I wish his daddy was my daddy, or I had a daddy like him. And then when he bust me down with that shit, I was like, damn, I can't deny it because I'm looking at his daddy as like the ultimate dad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, even when you talk about how it's passed down and like say me having a father, like this real life shit, when I was a teenager, right? And I got a teenage son, my son's 16. But when I was 16, I remember one time I was telling my daddy something and I said, they said. And he said, if you say they said one more motherfucking time, don't tell me what they said no motherfucking more. That's how my daddy told me, right? And I'm like, man, he don't want to hear nothing. He don't want to hear nothing. But I ain't understand that till now I got a teenage son. And I tell my son something. And his response is, they said. And boy, I don't know who the fuck they is. But they ain't telling you a motherfucking thing realer than what I'm telling you, son. So I ain't understand that until I stood in that.
Yeah.
And so, and not even applying that, I'm a confident black man. I'm at work, real life situation. People want to fuck with you with what they said. Man, they say they be watching you. It triggered me. It triggered me.
Yeah.
Because I say, this is what my daddy been preparing me for. So I say, who is they? So I said, I'm going to give them what they want. This was an experiment one day. I went to every white man who could be they. I said, are you they? Do you got a problem with me? Is there something that need to be said? I don't know what you're talking about. And I went all the way back to the they said. I said, now you go tell them and they. I said, fuck them. Well, my daddy prepared me for that because he ain't prepared me for they. Think of how much we always talking about they said.
Yeah.
And then we'll let that bullshit destroy us. Simply a daddy just telling his son, don't you tell me motherfucking they said no goddamn more. And you'll go to the source.
Now, Trav, that's so crazy how you said that because my granddaddy had a saying about they. See how your daddy said it so plain? My granddaddy said, they is them little people that crawl from under your bed and whisper in your ear at night. You know what I'm saying? They is what people say when they don't want to tell you who told you.
They are the ones who put doubt in your mind.
Exactly. So what I said is embarrassing bubbles. They are the silent claps and the loud boos. And they be in our head too. You see what I'm saying? They could be one motherfucker that we know we create they. So that whole concept when my granddaddy said they whisper in your ear at night when you sleep, it's like he was saying subconsciously shit is put in your head. So say, for example, what I mean, you could have a situation where you want to bust a move and you know your one best friend gonna have something to say about it, right?
Yeah.
Or this person, you know who in your life is gonna have some slick to say that you don't want to hear, right?
Yeah.
You might avoid busting that move because you know what they gonna say. You done created what they gonna say in your mind, and you know the motherfucker. And they might not even feel like you create in their mind. You see what I'm saying? I have had situations where the hardest thing for me to do is have a 2-minute conversation with somebody because I had already pre said what they gonna say based on me knowing them. Oh, I know that motherfucker. I know her. She gonna say this. She gonna say that. And then when I had a conversation, I'm like, damn, that was way easier than I thought. I got to stop listening to they when even they is in my head because somebody whispered in my ear at night, man. So what I'm saying is that's real on a job. Like you said, prepare. And you, like you said, you're in a supervisor position. So you got to always determine if they talking about you, what they said, or you might have to mediate between two people in two situations, and they keep saying, well, they said he said, they said he said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And here go the illusion to that.
Shit.
Hey, here go the illusion to that. Other we all we got, we all we need. So they is the outside of we. So when someone who's supposedly a part of your we talking about they, then who are you when you with them? Because are you now there? But see, they'll come and act like they in your we, but they
I need you to say that over. Say that over so I can clip that. It sound good. You said we all we got, we all we need when somebody outside of your we are talking today. Say that again for me. I don't know if I put you on the spot.
Try, but you know what I mean. Hey,
you ought to be able to do it. Hey, they say you can. They say you can.
Hey, look. Hey, look. We all we got, we all we need. They is the opposite or outside of we. So when they telling you what they said, you gotta examine if that's a part of your we or they with them. Because they say, my granddad always say, a dog that'll bring a bone or take a bone. You see what I'm saying? And when I understand when somebody gonna tell me what they said, and I know they got to go back over there with them. Oh, I load that motherfucking wagon up so heavy that I know they gonna drop some shit off by the time they get back over there. But Yeah. Tell them what I said.
So you say you put that shit on thick, huh?
Man, come on, man.
I've always said to people, and I love to see people squirm. I don't let them tell me. Hey man, I gotta tell you something, but you can't say nothing. Nope, I'm gonna say something. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Man, don't say that. No, nope, I'm gonna tell you. Don't tell me. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. Because this is what I've realized. Because I look down into my deepest, darkest soul, right? And since we're talking about acting like a bitch, I used to be the ultimate bitch. When I say the ultimate bitch, meaning the bitch in me, the woman in me, would like to deliver some news just so I can see how bad it hurt the person. Not because I cared about the person. You see what I'm saying? So I know in my own inner me and analyzing that woman in me with that single mother, if somebody come to me, I'll give you a perfect example. Somebody that was supposed to be close to me, I stopped fucking with them. Somebody had said something about me on Facebook and they had made a meme and they said, he the master teacher, but why he ain't teaching high school no more? Yeah, he was messing with some kids or something and got fired or something. And they made a meme and he screenshotted and sent it to me and then came by and wanted to talk about it. And it was like 1,000 motherfucking likes and motherfucker would comment all up under the shit. I done went to the shit and looked. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody think I'm a fucking fired school teacher for messing with a kid, right? Now, so when he come by the house and he talking about, I said, man, why you send me that shit, man? I felt like you wanted to see me hurt. I said, because you know this shit ain't true. Man, I just want to let you know what people saying about you. I said, no. The thing is, anybody that got common sense, no, you don't get to resign when you fuck with a student. They prosecute your ass. Like the school don't call you in and say, hey, Mr. Clark, we learned you fuck with this student. We just won't let you go. And we don't hear how you learn. Somebody told, a mama told some. It don't happen like that. So anybody with sense know that ain't true. So the people that's watching in it want to see something bad about me. And I said, I feel like you one of them, man. And that's where, like you said, that we over there talking to them, you ain't part of my we no more. No, sir. Because I know I used to be like that. Two-faced as a motherfucker.
No, that's real shit though, man. But you know, like they say, when you know better, you do better. That's maturity. That's growth. If I knew then what I know now, but I have grown into a better me. And that's what we got to understand. It's all right to change your mind and all the things we talk about. If you can say you better than what you used to be, then wear that with pride. But at least be real enough to know when you was where you ain't. You know what I mean?
Has your mom ever told you you act just like your daddy or you gonna be just like your daddy?
Yeah, she ain't gotta tell me. I know it. Yeah, I know it.
As a kid, how did that make you feel? Because it depends on how you felt about your father at the time.
I'm gonna say it like this right here. Tomorrow, my birthday, and I say, I'm the son of a gun. Ever since that motherfucker shot me, ain't nothing been able to stop me. I'm the young him, he the old me. If you know him, then you know me. I'm his pride and joy, his greatest creation. Mary had a baby and Linda did too. You understand? So,
you made that up.
Yeah, I'm freestyling that shit. That's how I feel in the spirit.
I know that's your saying because I laugh every time when you say I'm a son of a gun, and ever since that motherfucker shot me, can't nobody stop me. I know that's your custom boy right there. And I was like, you got a whole little rhyme to that shit. I ain't never heard you say the whole shit before.
But even in that, man, that's what drive me, man. I want to be better. That's my hero. I saw his good. I saw his bad. I saw his ugly. I saw his kryptonite. Man, I want to make him do. Hey, look, I want to make him right. You understand? Even if he don't understand it, but I want that for my son. Trab, I'm trying my best to get that to him. I hope he receive it. But we all in the same game, man. I mean, I don't think this shit deep though, man. I guess that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you some real shit right here on this live, man. You know, you go through moments in life where you process feelings and those feelings hit you at the drop of a motherfucking dime, man. when you said I'm the son of a gun, and ever since that motherfucker shot me, couldn't nobody stop me. Man, my heart longed. I said, man, I wish I knew my father, man. I wish I had something in life as a child that I could say, I'm like this nigga. I'm gonna do this. I wish that, man. And that shit just hit me of how much that shit still hurts, bro. That shit still hurt. And I got stepsons that I raised, and I know them motherfuckers act just like me, and I put something in them. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the same as knowing, like, you see how your daddy walk, his swagger, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying, man? That shit still sting, like, with legacy. I got a daughter now. You know what I'm saying? And the legacy, this nigga's a grandfather. She needs to be able to look in her grandfather's face and rub his gray beard, man. That shit hit me, man. When you said that shit just now, you said that shit with pride, man. Like, no matter what good or bad your dad did, man, you said that shit with pride. Like, there's something about knowing your fucking pedigree, man. You know, like a pit bull, you gotta have papers. You gotta be a fuck folk niggas. You gotta be a grand champion. Your daddy had to be a grand champion. His daddy, you had to be a certain part of a pedigree, or they won't even buy the motherfucking dog. And then you gotta prove it. His name on your birth certificate. My daddy's name ain't on my birth certificate, man. And I know I got a lot of things from him, height, and my mama used to tell me about him and brag about him, but just that ever since he shot me, a motherfucker can't stop me. That's gotta be something empowering into a boy's life as he move forward, man.
Javon, is like this though, bro. I say that, and it may sound heroic to make me sound like, but at the end of the day, that's everybody who can hear me right fucking now. And this ain't no deep, this ain't no vast inspirational shit. When that thing go bang, and the only way it go bang is you gotta cock it. And when you cock it and it's ready to blow, can't nothing stop it. Man, we talking about 500 million come out at one time when that gun go bang. We talking about that dang-a-lang. And every last one of us made it. So ain't nothing stop you. This shit ain't about me, you. If you realize ain't nothing stopped us. We still got them going from the bang of a gun. And he fucking your mama. That ain't deep. But here go what I'm saying. You in the game. You still in the game. You still got the answer here. You still got the solution to your problem here. Every moment that you just shared in the most vulnerable space you can share, there is a solution here. And you can start manifesting it tomorrow. So, ain't nothing stop you.
Man, that shit like a
ain't nothing stop you, dog. Hey, look, you still striving. You still got them, you still coming through like a superhero. Ain't nothing goddamn stop you. When you wake up, you still in the game. What the fuck you complaining for? Get on the line and let's run the play. Fuck else we got to do.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get up, motherfucker. And you're gonna have to play. You got motherfucking responsibilities, man. And man, I say it's crazy because this podcast, man, I always wanted to talk real shit. And it's crazy because even how you just explained that, it's like a double entendre. Like, ever since he shot me, you couldn't stop me. It's like the sperms came out, and once you hit that egg, you still alive, you still here. But I heard daddy strength pedigree in that shit, and you just saying it like some simple shit. Hey, once my daddy skeeted me, I was born, and I'm still goddamn kicking. I heard something totally different than what the fuck you meant. So when we write this book, we gonna put both goddamn meanings in that motherfucker. Because you just took my moment and said, "Nigga, pep up, you alive, motherfucker." I just had a real fucking epiphany. Like, I'm still hurt. That little boy wants to know his father. And the crazy shit is, what's so crazy about it, I could go see my dad.
That's what I'm talking about.
I could just go see him tomorrow. But my pride, I'm like, I don't want to see a motherfucker kind of like that didn't want to see me. I'm gonna tell you how I am, man.
Hold on. Let me say this, man. And this on some real shit.
Yeah.
See how you just said that?
Yeah.
That's ego. That's pride. Now I'm gonna say it in a hero training.
I think
type
it's
of
the
way.
woman in me. I think it's my mom in me.
Yeah. Hey, look. If you got to nail yourself up to the cross and let that shit die, dog, so your people can live. Because when I say your people, that's your daughter. You writing this, baby. Hey, look, you writing this. This is one of the greatest stories ever told. You writing it, so let that shit go. So fucking what? Man the fuck up. You need that man. Yo, the soul can't keep no secret that behavior won't reveal. You behaving like an emotional child. We all children that just done got old. You gotta let him grow up and let him out. Go face that shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't want to have that moment with him. It's the ego in me, the woman in me, or the pride in me. I don't want to have that moment and say, man, I wish I had you and needed you that much. Because when I met him the first time, he was just cool. We had the coolest conversation. I saw where I got my swagger from. I thought that's what I needed. I saw where I got my swagger from. We had a conversation about my conception. I wanted to know my conception story, like how. And when I saw how I was conceived, and that's why I believe every child needs to know their conception story, because it helps you cope and deal with life in a sense. Once I saw how I was conceived based on his side of the story and my mom's side of the story, I know I wasn't conceived in love. I was conceived in lust, a wife cheating on her husband, a spur of the moment thing, out of town nigga, go back out of town, and that's it. So I understand his side of, man, I ain't know if you was mine. I ain't believe you was mine. Your mama told me she was pregnant and it was a boy after 4 weeks. He said, my sister said, there's no way you can know the sex of a child in 4 weeks. So I figured if she was lying like that, bitch lying altogether. And I was like, yo, I get that. And I know my mom, and I know that's some goddamn shit she would have did. You know what I'm saying? So it really helped me process. But ever since I had a daughter, it's about her. I've been feeling like I want her to know him and her entire side of the family. I think my man got down and froze up on me. Hey, you have froze up for a second, Trab. You hear me?
Yeah.
You back good?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, yeah. You had froze up. Could you hear what I was saying while you was froze up?
No, you was breaking up. Yeah, I heard up until you were saying he was telling you the conception story.
Yeah, what I was saying was learning my conception story and learning that I was conceived in a cheating affair of a one night stand of a nigga from out of town that go back, and he gets a call like, yo, I'm pregnant. I know he told my mom he always wanted a boy, and he gets a call a month later, hey, I'm pregnant and it's a boy. And he excited, like, yo, I met this chick down out of state, one night stand. You know, she pregnant, it's a boy, but the problem is she married. His sister said, well, she might be pregnant, but she don't know it's no damn boy in 1 month. And they was like, she lying. And so he was like, if scientifically she can't know, if she trying to play him like that, he figured, fuck it. And from there, my mom never tried to connect us. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the story she told in a woman's version. But the fact is, she was married, one night stand with a nigga from out of state. I got my brother's father's name. He signed my birth certificate thinking I was his son. So the point I was making, knowing my conception story, is the reason I don't mind having a relationship with him. I don't see him as a fuck nigga that just said, man, fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I was in love and abandoning me. That's some type of shit that I know as a man. I was like, bitch, you lying. You saying you pregnant? You know the sex of the baby already. I ain't fuck you but one time and you married. That's some shit I'd have said, bitch, get out the fuck out of my face. I would have did that. So I understand it. So that's why in my heart, there's a longing to fuck with him. because I know the conception story when I met him. But after I met him, I was like, well, nigga, you ain't really that cool of a guy to me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You cool, but you know, now you're telling me you got 5 other sons that you want in their life either. I was like, so nigga, you showing patterns. You a loose meat nigga. Like you said, son of a gun shooting out these motherfucking sons. You know what I'm saying? But ever since I had my daughter, I want the connection to him because that's a whole lineage side of her heritage that she don't know that I can link her up to if I just get out of my pride. The same way I didn't have that lineage. When I met him, I met my whole family like an Antoine Fisher moment. They had a cookout. My wife, that's like you said, you and your wife had experience losing the baby that tied y'all together. My wife quarterbacked me, meet my father. When I got up there, they had a fucking Antoine Fisher cookout for me, and I got to shake everybody's hand, and everybody had an instrument, and everybody was like, yeah, I've been to college and I played these 3 instruments, and everybody was artists, and my dad had been to college, he played 4 instruments. I was like, wow, this is a whole side of my lineage. So that's why when you said ever since the son of a gun shot me out, it made me feel like you were saying the pride of my father from my lineage, my pedigree. Because I experienced that. But you was just like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? We all alive.
I want to say something that I started in the beginning, and you just brought it back home. A man is as real as his reason. Nothing gives a man more of a reason than a woman, whether it be his mama, his wife, his sister, or his daughter. So just like you said, up until this point, you ain't really had a real reason to want that relationship. But now that your daughter has come, look at your reason. And ain't nothing more powerful than that. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? Run the play.
Yeah, like run you said, the answers are right here.
Yeah, and think about, man, relationships between men and women. Like you talk about it all the time. At the end of the day, everything I say, everything I do in terms of my message is about us understanding who we is. No more, nothing is greater than the we, than at least the people that made you or the people you have made. Those are your divine teams. You can't throw them away. You can't give them away. You can't trade them. If you made a baby with him or if you made a baby with her, y'all on the team together, as long as that human being on this earth. Are you going to get together to have a connection that will give that baby, that child, the same one that's you and me, that done grew up and got old, what they need to truly goddamn be great? Or at least have the intentions. It's all right if you don't understand, but at least say, boy, I don't know shit, but I wake up every day trying to run the play, but I swear I can't get a first down for shit. But you get up every day and you try. At least,
man. The divine team.
The bare minimum, man.
Damn, boy. You read that in a book somewhere, the divine team, or you make that up?
Man, I don't know, man. The spirit, come on, man. I ain't little, man. Go ahead.
I'm just fucking with you. Like that nigga said, I'm just stroking you, man. Think about the way you said that shit, the divine team. And we walk around talking about baby mom and baby daddy.
Come on, man.
Think about words. Now, you know, every Thursday night at 9:30, you got a word show.
Yeah.
And you just said divine team. That's why I asked you, did you make that up, man? Because that's a way to say something, man. Hey, that's your divine teammate.
Man.
Y'all became one flesh. What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all are teammates to the core. Y'all ain't no baby mama, baby daddy. Y'all are real teammates.
Man, see, this is what make me get mad sometimes and get frustrated, because I know we be playing games and we be acting. We act like we're deep when shit ain't deep. We act like we're woke when shit ain't even about being woke. And I'm gonna just use your story as an example. Like you told your conception story. But you can flip that perspective in any way see fit, as long as you're standing in the mirror. You can say, man, it was so divine that a man traveled however many miles away from his hometown and passing many, many women. And it was divine that at that moment, for one night, one of the greatest stars was ever made that would impact humanity. And you ain't lying if you goddamn say that.
Hey, that's crazy.
You ain't telling no motherfucking lie.
Because you know what's crazy? How you say sometimes I say some shit to you and you be like, man, you fucking with me, man. Like Like you can't believe a person said that. I can go to my page every Father's Day. I say, Happy Father's Day to the man that was smooth enough to fuck my mama the first night. Raw. I say that like I always give him a shout out. And that's before, you know what I'm saying? It's like I know deep down what it takes to make a baby. Because, you know, my Bears and Bubbles show, I got a show called The Strongest Nut. You the strongest sperm that in order for you to end up alive, you was the baddest motherfucker swimming out of millions. You know what I'm saying? You was the baddest motherfucker swimming. And it had to be a perfect timing of everything. So I always say for a baby to be born with 10 toes and, you know, they old folks also say, what you having? I don't care as long as it's healthy. You know that old folks say that saying, and I'd be like, I want a boy, I want a girl. But when I had my daughter was born with Down syndrome, and she might not be able to see her ears and blah, 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 and her stomach and her heart. Man, my daughter, every test passed that shit with flying colors, like, damn. So, and every heart hole she had in her heart healed, all this shit. So the point I'm making is I know how divine it is to be born. I just never looked at it as divinity. I looked at it as luck, science, happenstance. But when you put the divinity on it, man, that's why I said, man, did you make that up? Or that's something that we need to start saying. I'm gonna start saying that shit if you don't say it. I'm gonna say that's your divine motherfucking teammate. That's not your baby father. That's your divine teammate. You know how many babies are born handicapped, hurt, sick, stillborn, miscarriages, decisions of abortions to be made. And through all that, this child is here. That's your divine teammate.
Man, hey, look, I don't know how we got here, but I want to talk. Hey, look, we got to talk it. You know, it's like when you talk about, man, when I watch my kids come in this world, man, that's one of the most humblingest things a man can ever experience. That's when he truly witnessing God. And if you ain't the doctor doing it, all you can do is watch it work. And you watch one of the strongest creatures on planet Earth do something that's out this world. You understand what I'm saying? And as a man, all you can do is stand there and hope and pray and yearn that something is in control. Man, that's the most helpless moment I ever experienced in my life, to watch my wife give birth and knowing there wasn't a damn thing I could do. You understand what I'm saying, man?
I hope everything work out right.
I hope everything work out right, man. And getting the assignment when it come out. Getting the assignment. So when we talk about black men and black women, and everything we talking about, either you ain't witness it or you ain't get the assignment. Which one was it? And if that is the case, then you got to be real enough to know that you will determine that. Let me say this before I lose it. The last Lion King movie that came out, I think I talked to you when it came out. I said, bro, you got to watch that Lion King movie. The last one. He got caught in the water and moved to a land where he ain't know nobody. All he know was he was a lion. He ain't know nothing about himself. But it was what was in him that prevailed to know that we don't know where this motherfucker come from, but we can't deny what he made of. Even when you don't know it yourself. Man, if you just be real with yourself and honest with yourself, the revelation will happen.
Yeah.
The revelation will happen. And even if your granddaddy or your daddy ain't never witnessed it or you don't know them, the world gonna understand who they was because they got to know you. And everybody got their power. I don't believe in nothing, nowhere, that'll tell any black man or black woman that they ain't got that power and you got to go through something to get it or understand it. And I stand on our moment of podcast or whatever we got to say, this real truth and real love, man.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. So
my bad.
How does like you say, relationships, showing up in relationships, having a father and a mother in the same house, because me having different men in my house, a relationship was arguing, fussing, cussing. And that's one thing me and my wife try not to do. Now we've been loud, but we never said we was gonna cuss and yell at each other and like aggressive. Like we've had loud conversations in the living room that I know that they heard, but like fighting and cussing each other out and shit. How does having a father, I mean, if that's personal, but like, does that help in your marriage? Like seeing that there are conflicts, that people be mad at each other and make up and blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? Because me and my wife both coming up in that single household, although there was men all the time, we both came into our marriage kind of like thinking that any type of discussion is an argument, feeling like in the beginning, like, shit, I don't want to talk about that shit because this shit gonna turn into an argument. Or anytime we would have to address a conflict, she would be like, well, don't get mad. And I would be like, now look, I ain't arguing, I ain't being loud. You know what I'm saying? Like preps, like, you see what I'm saying? So how does that translate into your life? Maybe seeing the right things or the wrong things and how it affects you. And then like you got kids that are gonna know, hey, this is how a functional marriage works. Now, my dad ain't perfect, my mom ain't perfect, but we ain't see them acting a fucking fool, beating each other. We grew up in a 2-parent healthy household. How does that?
Yeah, I'm thankful, and I'm so thankful to say that I ain't never witnessed my mom experience no type of abuse in that way. So I can say just growing up, that ain't never been an example I had to deal with or comb through.
Yeah.
I saw them go through things like I would imagine any couple would. So my foundation of that as a husband, that ain't in me. My wife come from a single family, a single mother, a strong mama. So her perspective of womanhood and strength can be seen as sometimes not submissive. You understand what I'm saying? And she ain't never truly saw submissive. So from my expectations of what, and I'm basically expecting what I know my mama to be, bottom line, right?
Exactly.
And my wife understands it. I think we mesh good. But when you look at from her perspective of her mama who see, and I ain't talking about her, but any mama who see
has
their
to make
daughter
shit happen for
receiving
themselves.
something that they never received themselves. Boy, that's a human nature that could turn into envy and jealous.
Yeah.
Like, damn. So that relationship can make that woman who being submissive in accepting and adapting to something that she prayed for, alone for, can be seen as weak on the outside. So that becomes the struggle.
Yeah.
A constant nudge saying, don't you lose yourself in solely depending on a man, but trying to explain that this is something you don't really understand.
Yeah.
This is security.
You don't know our bond. You ain't never had that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely get it because I was with my family one day and me and Chris was with my family. We was having a good time and I was saying something and some of my family was disagreeing with me. And then when Chris had an opportunity to speak, one of my family members said, "You always up in his ass. You agree with everything he say." And my wife was like, "I supposed to." And it's like the women in the family was like, "Oh, like she told your ass," but those were the ones that had men.
Yeah.
Relationships. You see what I'm saying? So my wife wasn't being smart. She was just simply saying, "I supposed to agree." The Bible said, "How can two walk together unless they agree?" You know what I'm saying? So I definitely get what you're saying. But the good thing, like you said, you never saw your dad hit your mom. So that's never been an ideal or option in your brain. You see what I'm saying? So when you've seen, I've seen my mom get hit, and my mom passed, and that's another reason I want to get to know my dad, because even more in this conversation, like you said, the divine team, you know what I'm saying? Part of that divine team that I had is gone. So I've gleaned from my mother's knowledge. Now I need to get some from my dad and my older age. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why I feel like that. But you were saying, I know in my life, I've seen my mom stab men or attack men, and what I believed as a child, initiate fights.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That as a child, I felt like somebody was beating my mama. But, you know, I was talking to my mom before she passed when she was in the hospital. I was like, you know, like, mama, why you let these guys beat on you and let us see this? She was like, shit, I won 75% of them fights. And I was just like, God damn. I'm thinking you got beat on and you like, I'm starting fights and winning them. I'm like, yeah, you did. Stab a nigga, hit a nigga, burn a nigga. And I just would be like, that made me say, I'm never going to hit a woman.
Yeah.
I'm never going through that with a woman. And it made me so cold because I got a saying that my granddaddy used to say, I'll leave your ass where you standing. And my granddaddy used to also say, I keep a pair of skates on a woman. So with me, I've probably missed out on some relationships or whatever, but it's just who I am, or missed out on some good love, or may have walked out on my first marriage or whatever, because I just always was like, if you say anything that make me angry enough to feel like I want to do something to you, bitch, I'm gone. And when you text me, I'm going to leave the bitch on unread. I'm not going to read the shit. I'm not going to let you get no closure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you get no closure. So I'll just be like, even in my own marriage, my wife has said there are times that I was so quick to say, hey, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Because now you're making me mad, angry in a different way. And she would be like, she felt like for the first 5-6 years that I was going to leave her. Because, you know, women going to say shit to make you mad. You know what I'm saying? No matter how, you're going to go through situations like that. You see what I'm saying? So I was quick to say, hey, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing anything that seemed like I got to motherfucking get mad and start cussing going off. Because that's how I feel. I punched the wall one day. I said, oh, no. Because as a man, I feel like no matter what nobody say, that angry energy goes somewhere. Yeah. It's like motherfucker get mad and go outside and kick his own car or flip the goddamn branch over something, cut your hedge, maybe. Let me cut these goddamn hedges, man. Let me clean up.
Hey, look, but you know what, man? That's powerful right there because like you say, that energy goes somewhere. You know, and this just some little wordplay. Emotion. Pretty much the energy and emotion. When you get your feelings roused up, that shit got to go somewhere. And they'll always tell me, man, you need to stay out your emotions. Well, we got feelings too. We ain't no fucking robot.
Yeah.
To get in motion, that's the power of being real. Where you gonna put it at? Like you say, a powerful man is one can resist the things he desires to protect the ones he loves.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, you got to, hey, look, like I said, you got to climb up on that cross. You got to let some shit die so some people can live. And I'm saying this to say that ain't no alternative to that. If you can't deal with that, then show your scorecard on how you fuck up every fucking time in every relationship. And let's examine that shit. Ain't no alternative to that shit, man. That's the bottom line training truth that when we break the huddle, line up and run that goddamn play. Next time you build up, put that energy where it got to go, where it don't fuck some shit up.
So, having had a man in your life, there's a level of leadership and responsibility that you saw your father have, you know, and that spills over into your own life. You see what I'm saying? Me, I just wanted to get my own motherfucking place and not, you know what I'm saying? And not live with no woman. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So how does that translate into getting married and having a plan for your life that your wife get on board with and a plan for your family? And how does that affect your ability to lead or not lead?
I don't know so much if it was a plan thought out. I mean, it's kind of like the order operation. You get out, you go get you somewhere to stay. You go want your woman, you get your woman. You do what you got to do to keep the goddamn woman.
No, I'm talking about once you got married. Like,
no, listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
You get your job to pay your bills, and you grow. You know how babies made. You know, you make your baby. You start your family. You raise your family. You take care of your family, and that's just waking up every day, one day at a time, running the play with the right intentions.
But
I don't think it's deeper than that. I mean,
there you go again. Notice how you said it's an order of operations. That's taught. That was witnessed. That's a subconscious angel on your shoulder, a subconscious spirit of having a father. So say, for example, what I'm saying is, I was telling my little sisters one day, like in a conversation, like, y'all don't know how much y'all protected just by being my sisters. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Much more is the veil of protection. Ain't nobody fucking with Trab son. You know, I don't know if you're a junior, but I don't know your daddy's name. But you know, it's like if they want to get at him, like, nah, hey man, his daddy fuck somebody up behind him. You know what I'm saying? Or man, he supervised. He wouldn't be good. It's a lot of stuff you weren't recruited for or protected from. You know what I'm saying? And even the idea of legacy, of starting a family, like you said, it's the order of operations. Like, it's so simple. You know how many motherfuckers don't see it? Like, you get you somewhere to stay. Some niggas be like, shit, I want some pussy first. Ooh, I done nutted in somebody and I ain't got nowhere to stay. And now I got a baby. And now, you see what I'm saying? There's a hedge of protection that you saying is so simple. And I'm like, hey, it's an umbrella over you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically that sometimes you're not cognitively noticing, but subconsciously is there. Like you said, the order of operations. You know how many motherfuckers I said, I believe that's your superpower. And bigging you up, you a man that has a wife and 2 kids by one woman, you holding it down, and you say you don't cheat on your old lady, and I believe it. So you talking about a motherfucking order of operations, nigga, you very fucking rare.
Well,
you saying that like, yeah, I just did it. Like,
hold on, Javon. And I get what you're saying. And I don't want to make it about me. It's like,
I'm not trying to, I'm just saying what it is.
But listen to what I'm saying. And I always use this hero mathematics when I talk about the 7. If I say at 3:00, meet me at the 7. Why we got to meet at the 7? The 7 will make all of us power. Just get there. If you come to 5 to 2, I come to 4 and to 3, and somebody come to 6 and to 1. Man, we coming from different vases of life. But the truth is, the power is at the 7. I don't look at it as like a halo. Yeah, somebody may not have the same shit I had, but we in the moment together, brother. Whatever you had or didn't have, we sharing the fucking moment. And now, if I'm talking to a child, then they maybe get exposure to the umbrella. It only take a moment to change somebody's life. Like they say, one moment you can die. We'll give all the power in a moment if a motherfucker come smack you, stab you, shoot you, or rob you. Well, this moment right now, somebody here order operations and get to chewing on that shit tomorrow can change everything in the directory of their children and their children today, right now. So it ain't about so much, I'm just telling you how the fuck it work. And if you don't work it right or get out of order, it got malfunctions. We know we got malfunctions, dog. There ain't no alternative to this truth.
All right, well, look, let me rebuttal you. Let's say we debating. It ain't no fucking.
Come on with it, man. This real.
It ain't no devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying? This is where I say like hero training. Trav, we teaching people. And maybe this is the teacher in me. I'm gonna regurgitate what you said so you know I get you, and the people know I get you, but it's also gonna help some people understand what you're saying.
Come on.
We got to come together at the 7. One motherfucker could be 6 and the 1. Somebody could be 5 and the 2. Somebody can be motherfucking 4 and the 3. As long as we in the moment at the same time. So my upbringing and everything I went through, and what I'm saying is your blessing of an upbringing, of a halo, and my lack of that, we at the same moment on the podcast and motherfucking together. That's what you're saying. So it's about being a 7. But as we teach men, some motherfuckers don't even understand that they need to be a number. You get it? You're saying it like we're here now. We're in the same atmosphere. So as you talking to me, you can explain it to me like that. But if some niggas don't even know, man, shit, if he's the fucking 6, I'm supposed to be the 1, but he wants to be the goddamn 10. He don't even know his place. He don't know his value. He don't know what he brings to the table. I think my nigga froze up again. Damn, I don't want to have
I'm listening to you. I'm
damn, nigga, you had looked like a motherfucking statue.
Look, I'm locked in like a motherfucker.
He said, I'm coming back on this nigga. But do you understand what I'm saying? That motherfucker, this nigga has froze the fuck up. Hey, they don't even know how funny this is because we in the dojo now. This one our first time going editing the dojo, like going at it. But go ahead.
Okay. Let me talk some real life shit. Right? When I say in the moment, right? It's real life shit. Mechanic Mike is one of the most smartest men I ever met. He was the neighborhood crackhead mechanic. But I understood what happened to him. He told me his story. We shared a moment. He was real smart, college educated, everything. Came home, dropped his dry cleaners on the top of his couch, didn't realize his baby was there, slid down because it real slick, suffocated his baby, realized he ain't had nothing else to live for. All he wanted to do was smoke dope and fix on cars. And he told me, he said, Trab, you know, I can live anywhere I want to live, however I want to live, because I know one thing, when I wake up in the morning, somebody need me. And in most cases, I was 16 with a 69 Nova, and I needed him. And he taught me no matter what I got, no matter what it looked like, man, a soul is real. And sometimes your kind can't be defined. There's more to people than what meets the eye. You understand what I'm saying? So it can look like I had it all, but I'm still a child. I'm still somebody who got issues. It ain't never what it looked like. Man, I ain't above the bullshit. I had a daddy, but I experienced, like I told you, I experienced things to this day. I was raised by a free man that don't nobody understand. Not even me, because I ain't free. You understand what I'm saying? So that nigga kicked some shit on me that hurt sometimes. Get your ass up. And I'm like, I'm trying, daddy. So it's certain elements, man, that you may see it as a halo, but we in the game, dog. No different than you think the guard don't respect the running back because the running back get all the attention, or the running back don't respect the guard. But in the locker room, in that practice, in that war zone, that guard is the real goddamn leader. He just up under the hood and don't nobody see him like you see the rims in the paint job. So what you think is a halo, now this real life shit, man. It's all real life shit, man.
I'm coming back at you in the motherfucking dojo. Now look, we're gonna go to the we're gonna go to the audience. That hedge of protection you talking about is real. I was raised like Trav, and the strong reason I've never cheated on my wife is because what my father showed me. Can we get the audience to come in? Because I'm gonna rebuttal you. Like you said, the guard and the running back example. What about when you don't have a fucking coach on the team? That's my point. The guard and the running back have an equal. You playing running back, I'm playing guard. We have an equal respect for each other. However, there has to be a coach. What I'm saying is, you could have the biggest motherfucking 6'5", 290-pound motherfucker, and you can have a coached running back. That guard out there ain't shit if ain't nobody taught him how to block, how to pull, how to nothing. He just a fucking guard. So what you have is a lot of men coming to the table with the qualities and attributes of a man, but they ain't never been coached. And I'm actually telling you, as a man, I be around niggas that's been coached. And there's a different level. You see what I'm saying? You can tell when a motherfucker ain't been coached. I'll give you an example of my life using a football analogy since you went there. I got to North Carolina Central University. I was coached by some motherfucking old men. You know, they taught us the Deacon Jones moves. You see what I'm saying? And clubbing and pulling on a motherfucker. When I got to college, They like, this big motherfucker ain't been coached. I didn't know nothing about no straight up bull rush or one-arm bull rush. I can turn my body and that gets more separation. I didn't know nothing about no swim. I didn't even look at the game of football as chess, like playing defensive end. There's shit I can do that can help me make this offensive line step out a little bit further where I can run around them or duck under them. So I was the laughing stock of the whole first freshman year with all the ability and talent I had of just saying, this motherfucker ain't never been coached, but he's still here on the fucking team with a scholarship. It's niggas that had fathers that didn't have scholarships. That's the point I'm making. Bing, back to you, daddy-o.
Back to you, daddy-o. Okay.
I'm thinking I might have you up against the wall now. I need
hell no.
Come back.
Hey, look, okay. And we talk about the halo. And I understand in all due respect, like I say, man, I don't take having a father for granted. Real life story. MVP every year I ever played football. Natural athlete. Hold on. Check this out. This is real life story.
That was just funny.
Hey, look, it's a real life story. And even going back to the coach, I grew up in Hidden Valley. We had one of the most rawest sports streets it was. We grew up, you either had to know how to wrestle, play football, or basketball, or crack jokes. And no matter which one of them four you was, when we went to school or anywhere, we dominated because we really trained each other to be the best. So when we went and played Little League basketball for the local rec room, we didn't give a damn who the goddamn coach was. That motherfucker looked like he could coach. We finna run this shit because we were real friends that believed in each other, right? So on that note, taking that spirit, and being good at football, being academically gifted, looking like, man, I can go to the next level. Man, I'm ready. And all I wanted was my daddy to believe in me. And he said, man, fuck college and football. You ain't gonna do nothing but go to that motherfucker and come home limping and get a regular motherfucking job. Nigga, fuck that shit. Ain't nobody going to goddamn college. I mean, you ain't going to college or the goddamn military. You gonna get a job. Still to this day, man, I'm trying to prove something. And it drives me crazy. Because I know that I was the one. And I ain't have somebody to believe in me when it really fucking mattered. So that halo get real fucking heavy. And that's why I say that's the shit I got to deal with that. I'm trying to prove something. Right now, to this day, I can come on here and say the most profound shit. With no education, formally or college. I'm talking about just, goddamn, I've been this since I've been 5 in the room with this motherfucker in there. They ain't knowed it then, they ain't knowed it now. Boy, that halo get heavy. That halo get heavy, man.
Well, you keep calling the halo. I say a hedge of protection, an umbrella. Halo.
That motherfucker get heavy, and it come with a price.
It does, but when you say halo, your connotation of seeing it is different. I'm saying a hedge of protection, an umbrella. When you say a halo, it's almost like saying a good thing that's always beneficial that can be recognized. All that football you playing, that neighborhood you grew up in, that's your father. Because some kids grow up in the fucking dirtiest places in the world. You see what I'm saying? That right there, before you was born, the fact that your father was married to a woman, picked a good woman, didn't shoot you out into some shit. I think I got you up against the wall now.
Go ahead, you don't. Go ahead, I'm coming back, goddamn.
You literally live in a neighborhood with kids that y'all could beast. Some of those kids might have not had a father, but some of those kids looked to your father. I'm pretty sure kids ate over your house, might have had football shoes, stuff for practice. You see what I'm saying? And even in the fact that he said you ain't gonna never play college football, you ain't going to college, you just said out of your own mouth, that shit's still driving you today to prove something. So although it may hurt and sting a little bit, You are being a man striving to be better than your father. Your father wants you to be better than him, set a standard, and you literally saying, I'm being driven today to prove my father. And you said it earlier, I am like my daddy and he just like me. And what you end up doing, being a working man that didn't go to college just like your daddy. So it's still the same thing to me.
Now watch this. And this is what I want you to understand. Everything you saying, you are. You done raised 2 sons under the same umbrella. That's college graduates that believed in them. That's still pushing them. And I look at them and admire your sons because, boy, they got a daddy that got it. And even though they're not yours biologically, you becoming the better, very same thing. The reason why I'm inspired. And I'm trying to be that better version to my son. But you got a college graduate. So that's what I'm saying. You understand it. You ain't the little boy who need it. You got it and you giving it. That's how we one in the same with it. Hit the goddamn drum.
I think my boy just tried to win with the encouraging me. I don't think I'm gonna go for that. Hey, crowd, we need anybody. Crowd, we need anybody. The nigga tried to encourage me. He tried to make me say, "Oh, you're right. I am. Without that." But you know what, man? That's a good conversation. I'm about to have to get out of here, but I want the crowd to respond to that because more than anything, that's like to me. This nigga is arguing the point that having a daddy. Boy, you a bad motherfucker. It's like you came into a battle that was already losing, but you gave a valiant fight because nobody on this earth would agree with you on that.
Now, let me say this, though, on the real side. And that's what this is. I'm thankful I had a daddy, but I ain't a child no more. I turned the key. And now I am a daddy. And this is a challenge, man. This is a challenge to be better than my daddy. I got a 16-year-old son that I got to inspire. No, man, and this shit ain't easy, man. This shit real. So, I get it. Yeah, I get it, man. But, man, I'm in the game now at a new position. And, boy, that goddamn life coming at me fast. So, I ain't got time to be talking about what I did in Pee Wee League. But I'm goddamn a daddy now. You know what I mean, man? And yeah, I don't want to.
Hey, that nigga say, hey, look, my guy Black Hawk Corte said Trab got it, but y'all both make sense. They got one for Trab. Hey, look, my guy said he ain't got time to talk about what he did in Pee Wee League. That was the beginning of 2 of his arguments. His first time he said it, he said, I want MVP every motherfucking year.
Come on with it.
Then that nigga said, me and my neighborhood, we used to kick ass every motherfucking Hey man, hey look, I went from crying in one way to motherfucking crying laughing, man. Let me tell you something before I get out of here. When I was talking, and this is our first time having these, and we're gonna start doing this a little bit more. It just happened. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
It's like going in the dojo. When I was talking that time and I was giving my point, I said, damn, my nigga in front froze up. That nigga said, no, I was tuned in. That nigga ain't blink. That nigga was ready to come back, boy. Okay. Joe Crook said having a coach that's a father gives the Deion Sanders effect. I'm thinking that's one for me. So we got 1 and 1. Let's see who's gonna break the tie. Somebody come in. I know we got a lot of sneak watch.
And let me say this too, man, on some real fatherhood.
We got an Enzo. I don't know if that's one for me, but he's saying good fathers are needed. So I ain't gonna take that as for me. But Enzo, say who won the debate, me or Trab? Because we 1 and 1 right now. And look, and that's what we're gonna always do. We're gonna let the motherfucking people decide. We're gonna let the people decide because I think that's one. See, the woman in me would have said, good fathers are needed. Oh, that's Enzo, one for me right there. But I say I ain't gonna do you like that because I'm a man and I understand. So we're not sure. I know when my man clearly said, Trab got it. That's you. My man said having a coach like Dion, a good father, that's a coach like Dion. And earlier he said the hedge of protection is, so I know I got him. So Enzo, we got Jeremy Holmes, we got a Trav.
There it is.
Trav is 2-1. Enzo, you say what you really meant. Who won, Javon or Enzo? You just said good fathers are needed. If anybody else is looking, y'all vote. Trav got me 2-1 right there.
But let me say this too, man. It's something about fatherhood.
All right, Enzo gave it to me. So we 2-2 now. Somebody come in. Somebody come in. I want to win
about fatherhood. We got coaching and training. Know the difference, man. Know when to coach and know when to train. That's very important in being a father, man.
Yeah, so we got 2-2 right now. So I want to win this motherfucker. I want to beat the nigga that won MVP every year. I want to beat
Hey, look, I got a homeboy. He gonna give you hell about that. You had to goddamn say that shit.
Well, he know you. He know. Hey, look, that's what they say you say. Everywhere Trav go, that nigga start off. Man, you know I won every, but I start off shit. I said, man, I won the storytelling contest every year from kindergarten to 8th grade.
But let me tell you this why that's important. Because what drove that little boy or that young boy was to make his mama and daddy proud.
Yeah.
Because he knew that was his way of fighting something to give a light to something. So when I talk about that pain or when I talk about what that really was and going through life, to be able to say we made it and they made something real, them the stories, man. Them the stories that let me know it was real.
Hey, look, that's a mean combination right there. Enzo said Trav want to be Jordan and Jay want to be Phil Jackson. Hey, that's a mean motherfucking combination right there, man. But when you think about it, he's right. I'd rather be the man behind the scenes talking and teaching. I'd rather be Phil Jackson, but that's a motherfucking cool ass motherfucking example right there. Because either way, you're gonna be champions. You know what I'm saying?
I want the flow and the mic. I want the flow, the mic, and everything.
In real life, if you could, would you rather be Jordan or Phil Jackson?
I'm Jordan. I want the mic in a room in real life. I want the mic.
See how you said that? Yeah. See how you said that? And I would rather, because I write plays and I've directed stuff and that I didn't act in. I like for people to say after the play is over and people done seen the production and everybody done did their thing and they say, well, the writer Javon Clark coming out, and I love that. So I would love for you to be Jordan, and then at the end when you give your speech, you say, I like to think my coach, my guy Javon Clark. Man, I like that so much more, man. That feels so good to me. Like, but I always say, let me ask you this: would you rather have the power or the influence?
In this day and time, I need the power.
And see, I'd rather have the influence.
And let me say why. Because
all right, go ahead, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Let me say why. Because right now we got the influence, but the power to make change with the influence is what we don't have. So with everything I understand and everything I work for, I want the power to work it best as I know how.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
Somebody got to run that motherfucker. I want to run it.
And I'm gonna tell you why I want the influence. Because everything that's going to need to happen to change, the man with the power is going to be martyred. I want to have the influence. I want to whisper in your ear, Trav, this is what we need to do. I don't want to have to be responsible on the front line and be the one that has to sacrifice his family. Or when I say martyred, I don't necessarily mean killed. I'm talking about you're always on the road. You're speaking, you're engaging, you're sacrificing your family. I'd rather be the nigga whispering in Dr. King's ear, like that guy, what's his name? The gay guy that got caught and they banned him from the civil rights movement, Bernard Rupkin. He was like Dr. King's main advisor. And he pushed that shit. He basically told Dr. King everything to do. And I'd rather be him. You know what I'm saying? But not him, not specifically, because that motherfucker. But you get the point. Goddamn. Look, pause.
Yeah. You know, man. But like you say, even in that truth, man, when you break it down to real life, I don't know what context we talking in to say the power or the influence, but them questions is real. Which one do you have in your house? I mean, the question more powerful than the answer. Right now, in your life, in your family, with your children, do you got the power to say, sit your ass down, or you got the influence that for somebody to go in there and say, sit your ass down? I mean, which one do you operate in real fucking life? You know what I'm saying? So that's some real shit, though.
But you know the real thing, Jordan is the power and Phil Jackson is the influence. So he called it out, right? That was just such a dope example of two people. It's and the way I like it, because a lot of times people think that people gonna always say who they like better, no matter how you cut. People gonna say I like Trab. People gonna say I like Javon. People gonna say this, or people gonna say I like Miss Carla. I like Javon, or you see what I'm saying? People are always gonna compare. It's like Big Boy and Andre. You know what I'm saying? Andre is my guy, you know, because I'm more like Andre, but Big Boy to me is the meat of the group. Big Boy is put the shit down. 3000 has some iconic verses that are so dope, but Big Boy come and deliver and make that motherfucking meat every time. And Andre is always kind of more like the dessert or the best side. Big Boy, that motherfucking steak. Andre might be that macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying? That everybody love that macaroni and cheese, or everybody want that best potato salad or best whatever. But when I look at them, I'm like, as I got older, I'm like, and go back, I'm like, man, Big Boy, goddamn, is the heart and soul of that group. I have to.
Well, you know, being in music, man, that's crazy because, like you said, everybody can agree Outkast is one of the greatest duos ever. But everybody got Andre in their top 5. And I used to always say that, man. Goddamn, they act like Big Boy wasn't there in every moment that made them great. Or even now when you look at it, Andre done revealed certain aspects of himself. I think he even came out and said he got certain type of stages of autism where he kind of shell back. So Big Boy gave him the support and foundation to be great. But it's like he the motor in the transmission. He don't, like I say, but he got to be real in himself to not.
Yeah, like you said, and like you said, and that's because it's like you said, Big Boy to me is the motor in the transmission. Andre the fresh tires in the paint job. Yeah. Because like I said, everybody throw Andre out there because Andre has iconic verses. Me and everything around me is unstable like Chernobyl, ready to go at any moment, jump up like a pogo stick. You know what I'm saying? This nigga just be saying shit. You know what I'm saying? She asked me what I want to be. She said alive. It made me think for a minute, looking in her eyes. I could have died. Time got on. That nigga, man, the shit that this nigga say. But then Big Boy is just like, it's like starting a song. Without Big Boy, it wouldn't be a song. Like, I think Big Boy could have had a solo career. If they would have came out separate, I think Big Boy would have shot, and it would have took too long for Andre to be understood. But, man, when I said, man, that's how I look at us, man, you know, and it's crazy. We agree on the same thing on that. That goes to show our contrast in personality, but the agreement in, you know, Big Boy, that nigga, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let me say this, and this some real life shit. You dropped a song about your daughter for her birthday. Yeah. And I remember one time I told you, I say, man, well, we got a song that said it's a powerful thing when you sing your own song because you can't sing it wrong. I say, bro, the only way somebody can say you can't sing is they gonna measure how close you sound to what you're trying to sing. But if you sing in your song, it ain't no measurement. If they feel it, you can sing, right? Mm-hmm. So one thing I learned with rapping and freestyling, it's about the confidence and the conviction in what you say. That's what make it real. Music is about what I can make you feel. So as men, in our lives, in a room, no matter where we are, it's going to all sync together. The only thing that don't make it sync is insecurities. If you get 5 men who ain't got no insecurities and confident about who they is, that's what creates a band. That's what creates music. That's what creates a powerful team. That's what creates everything when you around people that know they the one.
You know what's funny? Before we get out of here, I'm gonna play my daughter's video just because I said I'm gonna play it all 3 days this week. It's funny that you say that, man, because at the end of the day, I guess the night's supposed to go like this because I definitely am the type of motherfucker that wanted a winner and we 2-2. So So I guess that's where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's the universe wanted us to be 2-2. I wanted to win. I wanted to beat your motherfucking ass. But yeah, man, it's such a beautiful thing, man. I'm gonna shoot my daughter in and give her some love tonight too, and let's get it. Hold on a second. Let me take it back and
you cooked all the food. You cooked all the food there too, man.
All over every day.
A lot of the stuff, my sister, I'll tell you afterwards, certain things I like from my
gift
sister.
from God. Every day is my birthday. It's another year, and you're still here. You done cried tears, but you're standing there. You're still strong. You done waited all year long. You're still strong, and you kept on keeping on. It's your special day. Do it all your way, and don't be ashamed about what they say. It's your day. You done waited all year long. It's your day. Still strong. I just wanna learn with you and help you do whatever you want to. I just wanna turn up with you. You can live life by your own rules. Cause you're living every day like your birthday. Living every day like your birthday. Living every day like your birthday. You'll be living every day like your birthday. It's your time, wanna shine, jump around, lose your mind. If they ask you why you did, you say you did it for the mind. Do it. Happy new day, happy new way, happy new view, happy new you. Happy new day, happy new way, happy new view, happy new. Age ain't nothing but a number. We gon' party like the middle of the summer. Age ain't nothing but a number. We gon' party like the middle of the summer. I just wanna learn with you.
I just wanna learn.
Do whatever you want to.
With you.
I just wanna turn up with you.
Turn up, baby.
Live life by your own
By your
rules.
own.
Cause you're living every day like your birthday. Living every day like your birthday. Living every day like your birthday. You'll be living every day like your birthday. Age ain't nothing but a number.
No, it ain't.
Party like the middle of the summer.
Summertime.
But a number.
Oh, it ain't.
Party like the middle of the summer.
Party like it's summertime.
Ain't nothing but a
Don't matter if you're on your own.
party like the middle of the
You can get your groove on.
age ain't nothing but a
It's okay to lose control.
party like the middle of the summer.
Happy new day, happy new way, happy new view, happy new you.
Happy New You.
Happy new day, happy new way, happy new view, happy new you.
Happy New You.
They're beautiful, man.
Yeah, man, I always say, man, that's one of my sayings from Bears and Bubbles, man. Every day is my birthday. When I go to bed, there's some game I'm going to leave y'all with, and then, Trav, you leave us with some game, man. When I go to bed every night, I die to the world, and I dream, and I go to heaven in a place that nobody knows. And when I come back alive the next day, that's my birthday, and I do not have to think about yesterday. Happy new day. Happy new way, happy new view, happy new you. Live every day like it's your birthday. Take us out, Trab.
And after you stand on them feet and go into that bathroom, that's where we all got to go. Use it, freshen up, brush your teeth, stand in that mirror, look in them own eyes, and say something beautiful to God. And I promise you, God will say it back. And when you open that door, run the play. Run the play.
Y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on. We'll see y'all tomorrow night, same time. Y'all check out Trab this Thursday, 9:30 on Facebook. Peace.